just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
About to go stupid again.
So video's good?
Video's good.
Okay, good.
Always, baby.
What's going on, Kings?
Bring the fire because it'll be a little bit of a shorter one today.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? This is the All or Nothing Show. My name is Austin. I am the guy, the biggest, world's largest dick, as they say. And I got the co-hosts, Brock and Griffin. Say what's up.
What's going on?
Going on. And just a little preface. The joke is because I gave him a mug that says world's biggest dick for Christmas. So.
And it's just
It's
certifying
certifies, yeah.
my
Not anyone
my member.
can get that. You have to go through a thorough investigation on
And
the
that's
size of your
after
member.
years of DMHA.
Yeah. That's what is it called? Measured fuck. I can't think of it. I'm going to butcher it. Anyways, let's crack these cans open.
That's right.
We got 3Ds today.
3D. Y'all are rocking
Whitey's
white.
on this side. Frost is the technical term.
And I'm berry blue. I like berry blue. Blue's good. And, I don't want to ride the Christian
I like
dick.
the blue.
I'm more so riding 3D dick.
I like 3D. Griffin's
3D,
the one who's against
cheap, simple, and effective. Not those overblown fucking
Kind of
other
like
drinks.
Folgers.
It's like the chick who's a 6, but
it's a good time.
You need a good time, get it done. It's never like a big regret, you know, but it's not gonna rock your socks
And you're
off.
not going to lose a bunch of money.
No,
It's a
for
cheap
sure
date.
not. Yeah, cheap date. Yeah.
Ooh, see? Black Tasha. Denied. Anyways, we had to lock the doors in this joint because people would bust in this office. But
Yeah, they don't understand
No
it's a
knock
big
rule.
operation.
it is.
Austin even left some stuff hanging on the door handle. You know the rules.
You know the rules.
Did you really
baby
put
girl.
the Santa thing?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I should.
Put
Moving
a sock
forward,
on
I'm
the
putting the
door.
sock, the long thigh-high sock.
Yeah.
Let it droop.
Oh shit.
Well, today's Monday. Christmas happened. Good Christmas, boys.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty low
I already
key.
finished my outright bars.
Did you? How many? I only got you four.
4.
Yeah.
I had like one a day though.
We named it quick. He's like, only 4. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I only have one left. That's all.
Good. I like them. So some, and I will say, some of mine, not the ones you bought particularly, but just I got a bunch. Some are super dry, and I'm thinking it's because they're old. But I have some
Yeah,
that
they
seem
didn't
like they're
rock my
fresh
socks off.
out the fucking oven. Like, if you barely just like wiggle it, it falls
Yeah.
apart. It's so moist.
Yeah, I think mine were kind of dry. Not to anyone's fault. I think, like you said, I probably would have had a better experience if they were a little more moist.
Just put them in the microwave 10 seconds.
But I
to
feel like
go.
that's another step.
Oh, true.
Yeah. I told Sarah this yesterday. Side note, I know moist is a word that many people hate. I
don't get
I
it.
enjoy it.
I don't feel like
That's
you
a
should
great-
give words power like that.
Great term to express something being wet
Yeah.
or moist. But
How she describe
The pleasant
You say a
characteristic.
wet piece of bread? No, it's a moist. It's a
yeah,
moist.
moist.
moist
I like that
cake.
thing. I like that
A
thing
banana
moist.
Moist cake?
Yeah. So I told
You don't
her
want a wet cake.
one of my goals for 2021 is making the word plop be hated and banned.
So what? How would you use it? Like a poop?
Anyways,
All right.
you plot. Never mind.
All right.
Just take it.
Too
Use your
graphic for the
imagination.
show.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know.
I thought this was the all or nothing
Oh, it
show,
is,
not
it
the
is.
half
You
or
know what?
It's
nothing.
It
a
is.
family show.
I'll joke with her, and say, "Oh, she's probably plopping on it," and they get that
Oh, yeah. Little
Yeah.
suction.
Yeah.
little plop and plop down on that thing in a word, and
I'll
that's
have to
used in
throw
a
that word
sentence.
to Maddie.
And she's gonna hate it from now on. Sarah's like, "Do not say that anymore." I'm like, "Why
Plopping on
don't you plop on that thing?"
it. Plop on that thing. Yeah.
Anyways.
And that implies, I feel like, some force, too.
Oh yeah, like
Like-
that, like good suction, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
That's true. What a visual.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Austin out of my mind.
Yeah,
thinking
I'm
about
sorry.
that, but
Hey, so some updates. Christmas was good. The normal. Got
Yeah,
to see
true.
family,
low-key,
whatever.
simply. Yeah.
One thing I did during this little break, though, is I did buzz up my legs. Finally, I buzzed up the chest and
dang.
legs. I don't know if you noticed, but
How many trimmers?
Well, I would know you have a shroom.
trimmers. Well,
Okay,
Hey,
definitely cleaned
hey,
up.
whoa,
Legs
the
are the same way.
return.
I'm probably gonna shave my legs tomorrow.
well, I don't shave. I buzz.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Y'all don't go all in.
we're not all or nothing.
My
on
leg
that.
day this morning, which is my first leg day since I buzzed them, I just felt like more fluid. Like I felt like airy. You know, like I can only imagine when a chick gets a fresh shave.
Like,
I feel good.
Once
like,
I shaved them, I was like, holy shit! Like my pants feel different when they're on, or
my
like
sweatpants.
Yeah, or like when I'm working out, it's just different. And once you're there, you don't want to go back.
Well, shaving's expensive because then you got to burn up razor blades.
No, it's not,
Only
man.
trimmer.
You can get a pack of like 12 razors for like $3-4, and you can use the same one twice. Yeah, I get the disposables. Okay. Yeah.
Let me ask this:
Like
how high up on the thigh do you go?
I go
all the way to the bottom of the glute,
crotchal region, taint.
Oh, do you mean on the back end of the glute?
Yeah.
I work kind of like up to like
Crevice.
Boxer brief length on my hamstring, like as high as I can reach. I don't work all the way up to like the ass cheek.
So, since I'm not shaving, I'll do pretty much up to the ass cheek, maybe like right under it.
Yeah.
And then inner thigh.
Definitely get inner thigh,
around
full
the package.
quad, around the package.
And it makes a difference? I wonder if I could
Yes.
see more definition.
Well,
for
I
sure.
feel a difference when I walk. And even when I said, like, when I was doing the split squat and, like, all the other shit, I just felt like a lot more of just free.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's more of a difference than you expect, for sure.
And speaking of this, I just, and it might have been coincidence or the way the moons aligned, I literally got an email this morning from Chic,
Never heard
the
of
shave company, the Chic.
Oh, yeah.
And they want ambassadors, or they're going to, well, if I apply for it and I send this thing, they'll send me, like, some razors to demo.
Hey.
You'll be like 10,000, but for razors.
Yeah. Which
What
I'll
can
be a
cut
good
through
specimen because
this?
I'm hairy as fuck.
Yeah, you are.
Get the back.
Yeah, Sarah had to hit that thing. It took like 10 minutes back there. And it was so
Get the
bad.
clippers.
When she was buzzing my upper back and neck, y'all saw my neck.
Oh,
Shit's still
I told you.
fucked.
I gave you shit about your neck.
But
yeah.
I felt it, you know it's bad when you feel those clumps just
going
hitting
down,
my ass, like as it's going down and
Yeah.
rolling down my back. I'm
Yeah.
like, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's like a rug back there. Yeah,
Yeah.
she cusses me out the whole time.
Yeah.
But did that. That was good. And I feel good being back in here, man.
Yeah,
gonna
let's
ask-
talk about your program.
I was just about to say, yeah, because for reference for people listening, which I think is kind of crazy, I told Maddie this and she was kind of surprised too, is Austin's never followed a program. Like, not like a long-term sense or
Never.
wrote one or
Well,
anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, for clients, but, for like yourself.
Have
sure.
you ever considered it in the past, but just never did it?
yeah. And I considered, like, and I hate to say it, but, like, I shouldn't be ashamed to say it, like, almost like hiring a coach, but not just to do a workout program, but almost like we talked about maybe doing like a small, simple meal plan, but something for me to just like literally take my hands off the wheel or just not have to think about it and just be like, all right, let's see how this turns out type thing.
Yeah, I
try
wouldn't be
something
ashamed of
different
that.
because that's all like somebody looking at from the outside looking in, being like, all right, these are some weak points you have. Let's do some of these exercises since I'm always looking at myself being like, oh, I might have these weak points when they're like, no. You got bigger things going on than that.
And I feel like it's always good to just get out of your own head sometimes.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's what I'm saying.
I was talking to Brock the other day about, like, when I feel like I go to make a program, I'm like, okay, well, which split is best? And then I'm like, okay, push, pull, leg. And like, okay, well, let's say I was to start, like, a workout of a push day. Like, well, I guess I would start with a bench. And then you wind up, like, doing the same thing that you were doing before just because you kind of, like, come to that inevitable, like, crossroads in your mind or something like that. So I feel like it is nice to get out of your own head and let somebody else take the reins.
And also, I think me paying for it, not that I have yet or I'm going to, but would hold me accountable to sticking with it at least. I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I'm going to just go back to my old roots. But at least finish it out. But don't remember the question so much, but I guess I can talk about how it's going.
Yeah,
I was about to say, like, what's the
split?
structure? Yeah, what's the split? I mean, you don't have to go through
reasoning
every
So
behind
I
it.
changed it a little bit from the other day when me and you talked, Griffin.
You told me it was legs, push, pull, legs.
Similar. Very close. Push, legs, pull legs. And the legs for me, for people that don't know, is a push day. Obviously, everybody knows what that is. First leg day would be a quad dominant day. Mm-hmm. Then I'd have a pull day. Then the second leg day would be a hamstring and glute dominant day.
So today was the hamstring and glute day?
Reason being, and I didn't start it off like it's no in particular order. It's just the way I'm saying it. And then the fifth day, arms. Gotta have those
Yeah.
bitches in there.
Good fucking
And
morning.
good morning. Set aside 8 hours for that one. And then
Yeah.
6th day is going to be come in mobility, really getting tight on me, trying to not have my back as a question mark anymore.
Yeah.
And on the 7th day, God rested.
The Lord's Day.
Yes.
The gains God. So yeah, that's pretty much my split. It's pretty simple. I mean,
nice.
the push and pull, I kind of already did anyways, except I would sort of break up chest and shoulders on most days or my triceps. But
So I've tried a push day before because a lot of it's a pretty common split.
yeah,
I've never felt like I can hit chest, shoulders, and tris all on the same day because I want to do too much. Like, I feel like, let's say I do a bench press, I do, chest flies and a chest press machine. Then I'm like, okay, with shoulders, like, am all I going to do is, like, side raises? Or, like, do I do side and front and that's it? Or, like, do I do, like, I want to do a shoulder press, but I feel like I'm already fatigued? Like, it just feels off, I think, because I've never really done it. And so I briefly tried it, and it just felt weird.
So with my push day, surprising thinking back on it, I didn't put any raises in it at all. It starts off with the
Sorry, guys.
gosh,
Yeah.
incline barbell bench.
Okay.
Gonna set that up in the rack.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. And then I'm doing for shoulders a seated dumbbell. Dips in the dip bar, the new dip bar that we got for some more shoulder and tricep work.
Nice.
And then also the pec deck for chest a little bit.
Yeah.
Then overhead rope, tricep extension. And I had one other exercise in there. Pretty basic. Like, I'm not like hitting all different angles of the chest. I'm not hitting a bunch of different shoulders. It's just like that, chest press.
Yeah, I feel like
shoulder
that's all you
press.
need, too, because I feel like I overthink it.
I used to do it like you were just referencing, to where like I would have, let's say I did like on one day I would do like an incline bench, like flat dumbbell, and then like a seated dumbbell press or something like that, and then just kind of flow downwards, and then after that maybe do like a cable crossover. But I would find that I would usually like kind of have my shoulders burnt out before anything. So I do now, like on this different kind of split, I kind of just do the shoulder exercises just being like a lateral raise variation, and then like an upright row with like a wide grip on the easy bar, or like a behind the neck press or an Arnold press, just to have something that's a little bit smaller and like more so focused on, like, you're not trying to just kill the weight all the time. It's more so just like keeping it engaged and like kind of moving the whole time, tension going. Yeah. So it's one of those things that I like the push-pull leg, because I just find that I can like feel like I'm tapering down, like starting big, ending small sort of thing, and kind of just continuing that like progression of muscle groups. But when we did the chest and back, I like that. I just feel like one is hot and the other is cold sort of thing. I feel like it's hard for me to feel like I'm continuing that push, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think specifically the hardest day of the split I follow has got to be chest and back days, and I think it's because, like you said, there's such big muscle groups, and where you can get gassed like after one. And so what I do to combat that is, one, I'll take demo day midway, and that kind of gives me some carbs and things to kind of keep going and feel a little more energized. But I also kind of recognize that like back for me is easy to get engaged and grow and everything like that. So I'll always train. I don't do like one day where it's chest first, then back, and then back first, then chest. I always do chest first and then back, because I know like
priorities. Yeah,
well, like I feel like making sure my chest has a good pump and that workout goes well is like priority number one, because I rarely can fuck up like a back training day, because like whether it's a cable row or some weird variation or whatever, like I can always feel like I get at least a good pump, let alone a great workout, strong kind of day. So, I guess you got to kind of figure out, like where your weak points are and where you feel like you can kind of structure it. But I think it's just, good example of how everyone goes about it differently. Like you're addressing your mobility issues or different things, or how you want to split up legs. You have what works for you as far as exercise and, different things you're trying. And same with me. So
do you feel weird at all? Like, well, I guess you've always kind of done this, but like doing things just one time a week with the exception of legs?
I feel like I will once I get going, but not really weird, because there's so much.
I guess now you can really go hard though.
Yeah, I definitely could, and I intend to, but just starting off today, because today was like day one of the program, felt amazing mentally. I mean, obviously it felt fresh, and it was like,
felt
oh, that
good to
new,
be on
that
something.
new,
Yeah.
like that new feeling. But at the same time,
baby feeling.
Day
it,
one.
it like put it in stone that I am definitely a checklist, deep down, I should be a checklist type of guy because I feel so accomplished and like it set the mood and energy for the rest of the day, knowing that like, oh, I checked that box off the list, that box, that box, that box.
Yeah.
And I went hard, pushed myself, and boom, like I'm good to go. There's no like
filmed
oh,
it.
Yeah, even filmed it. I was in a mood this morning.
Yeah, he was.
Watch the fuck out.
Usually you roll in like a little hazy or sleepy.
It takes
but
me,
he rolled in and he was smiling at me. He was
Let's
like, fuck
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got it in last night.
He had something in his eyes. That twinkle.
Yeah. And then after I don't know. I just know that set my energy, set the tone, and just I didn't have any like thoughts of like, oh man, did I not do enough today? Like, I hit it, did it, move on.
That's true. And after we kind of finished our program, I feel like for a few weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks, I was just kind of doing it like more so by feel and still having good workouts, but like I would just come up with it like right before I started to do it. I really got to the point where I'm like, I love having a program. I just was like pining for that because I feel like I get better oversight when I can look at the big picture and not just think about, okay, well, what do I feel like I need to work today? Because I sometimes feel like if you don't have that somewhat of accountability, you just fall back into like, okay, well, I'll do this because I like the way that feels. I'll do this because I'm strong at it. And like, not necessarily things that you need to work on. Yeah. So it does feel good to at least just like you said, have a checklist and just know like, okay, when I'm done sort of thing versus just, kind of figuring it out as you go.
I heard from a little birdie that you weighed in this morning or the other day. What were you weighing in at?
This morning, 197.8, baby.
I felt the gravity pulling me that way.
Yeah, that's
so much
true.
mass.
The girth. So now I'm up probably like 9 pounds this month, I want to say. So look out, world.
We're going to need a piss test.
Yeah. Invest while you can. Yeah. So.
Damn.
Now this leads me into question number 2, or like statement number 2 is about, did you know, or we talked about it, so you probably know, he's never done cardio ever. So it leads me into a question, has your weight always just kind of consistently, for the most part, overall, like from a grand scheme of things, been linear up? Or have you ever had a period where you kind of dropped down purposefully, like, let's say at least 10 pounds plus, and then kind of went back to a bulk period? Is it always
No, I've never done a cut, and I've never really thought about like bulking per se. Ever since I started lifting, I've always wanted to do like the long-term route. So I've always just thought like, okay, if I can just put on like quality weight and just do it over the long term, like I'm in it for the long haul. So what, might as well like try to just pace that out accordingly and not feel like I'm always like playing catch up of like gain a bunch of weight, then try to cut off the fat and this and that. So I've always wanted to just like subtly go up. And then also like, especially when I first started, I was a little bit more ambitious with it of like trying to just continue to make that scale rise. But at the same time, like I never felt like I was gaining fat. So I never felt like I was, going too hard.
Would you say you're
fast.
like a hard gainer and it was hard for you to gain weight? Did you have to like force feed a lot when you were younger to try and put on more weight?
Yeah, I started, when I first started lifting, I was probably like 130, 140. And I'm 5'11 and a half or so.
And a half. And 3/4.
Yeah. On a good day, almost
7,
60.
8.
That's why I miss sometimes having the top bun, is because that would add another inch or two.
Yeah,
He's not a 6-foot king.
So, yeah, forever a hobbit. But, no, when I first started that, I was like a string bean almost. And that's why when I first started and kind of figured out like, oh, this is resting metabolic rate and like this is kind of where I feel like I can have my starting point and like start to slowly grow from there. It was one of those things that I was kind of obsessed with it to like after every workout stand on the scale, okay, up like 3 pounds or something like that. But it was one of those things I just never, even though I was very like aggressive with wanting to gain size, I never really wanted to like blow up per se. Does that make sense? It's like I like if I was up from the year prior or the month prior, that's good. But I never wanted to like balloon up to like 250 just because that was a number in my head, sort of thing. So that was one thing. Like, I've never really done a cut. The only time I've ever like lost weight was just when I kind of fell off in terms of
Eating.
discipline.
Yeah.
So it is one thing. I'm hoping muscle memory kicks in.
Yeah.
And yeah, never really done cardio. I used to in school. I would do soccer,
Isn't that
run
just weird,
track,
Austin?
and then run
Just
cross
like-
country. So I always was a runner, and I hated running at the same time.
Yeah.
But that was one of the only like individual sports that I could do that wasn't like a team based thing. So that's why I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started rock climbing, and so that became my like after school activity. And then after that, I started lifting, and so after I kind of just figured, well, you know, I don't like running, and if I don't have to do it, if I could just like still be in shape by doing something else, then why would I do that? But I do think that cardio is important, and in the past I've just justified not doing cardio by the fact that like usually Buddha and I will walk like 3 miles, or
Yeah.
we'll go camping or something. But now that I live more out in the country, I don't really have as many like walking trails to go on, so I probably should do that at least, like maybe Stairmaster for lower intensity or something like that, at least like once a week maybe. But
I just remember when I was like getting into lifting and everything, same kind of general deal. I felt like, okay, I don't want to just dirty bulk because I'd seen people do that and, you know, balloon up to like 240 and then try and cut down. I didn't want to do that, but I, you know, would see people on YouTube and they're like, okay, you know, if you're like if you're a teenager, you just need to be pounding food, eating. And I'm like, well, if I do that, I'm just going to gain like fat. And like for the most part, like when I did my bulks and cuts, it's generally how I've kind of been doing things the past 6 years, especially if you look at my MyFitnessPal. It's like I'll get up to like 175, then down to 158, then up to 183, then down to like 160, then up to 190. And I feel like for me, although it is like yo-yo-ish, it was kind of like a way where I could make consistent, clear progress and then kind of strip the fat. And I feel like, you know, it's like knocked you, we're just all like different bodies, but I feel like some of us like, or like just the way that, you know, I feel like your body like is just kind of like starving for food. I don't know if it's just purely metabolism, but also you're very active, way more active than I was in high school, like overall. So I feel like I'm more susceptible to just like gain fat when I'm in a surplus. Is I guess I don't know where I'm going with that. I feel like y'all are just looking at me like I'm crazy.
You talking to me or him?
no, I
Talking
don't
both
think
y'all.
that you're crazy.
But you get what I'm
I,
saying? Because I feel like what kind of person are you, Austin? Did you kind of go through bulks and cuts, or were you always just linear?
Huge bulk.
Oh,
That first
really?
one went from 160 to 210.
Yeah. Oh.
Dang.
That was eating everything.
And what was the
Mashed
time
potatoes, like 3 months,
Dang.
4 months. And that was, most of that was natural.
Well, because here's what I'm thinking is like when I would do like my bulks, like I'd make gain like 15 to 20 pounds over a 6 to 8 month period.
Yeah.
And I know realistically, like from what I've seen in whatever studies, it's like you can only gain like 1 to 2 pounds of muscle like a month. And then especially like when you're more experienced like us three now, it's like naturally like a half pound, you know, or pound at the most like per month is really what you're looking at. So it's like for me to, I feel like make consistent strength gains, I kind of went like the bulk and cut route. But I think you can go, I feel like the route that's like you've gone, Griffin, but like you said, you got to be in it for like the long haul.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that, like, you know, super consistent, literally like the leanest lean bulk you can do, super slow, I feel like you're in a good route. You just have to like know up front, like your progress is going to be slow as shit, but it's going to be consistent. You're not going to look chubby in the summer and then cut down later, you know.
Well, I would also say a couple things. Like one, I was probably overtraining back then a little bit too. Yeah. And then two, I was having like I would weigh my my meat cooked, so I was having like 3 pounds of cooked chicken a day as well, and so like a little bit overkill in terms of the diet, because I'd always like when I first got on Instagram and kind of got more into like lifting in regards to Instagram and stuff too, seeing a lot of people, that was kind of when the If It Fits Your Macros started. And I would see a lot of people that would talk about like a calorie is a calorie and like science this and science that. But I would always just see these people and they were like skinny fat, like nerds that like you're up 5 pounds from like last month, but you just look like I look better than you,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
You don't
it was
want
one of those things that I always would like look up like old school like bodybuilder diets and just copy those. I had like not a very good relationship, I would say, with like a cheat day per se, but I would say I kept it very clean throughout the week to where it was like probably absurdly high protein, not really much in terms of like, bad food or other things like that.
It definitely helps.
And then a little bit of overtraining too, that like I would say I gained like the right kind of weight, but it's like you're kind of headed for a burnout after a while.
Yeah.
So I have a better mentality with it now. So that's why I'm curious. Like,
I definitely
if
feel
I can
like
lock in a little bit more, like what this year will hold.
Yeah, I feel like it took me, because I've been lifting like 6.5 years. I feel like it took me like 4 years of bulk cuts before I didn't look just like kind of, like you said, skinny fat or chubby with a little bit of muscle. Like, it took me like 4 or 5 years before you look at me like bulk or cut, whichever phase I'm in, and I still look like I lift.
Well,
you
my
know?
mentality too with that is like, if you gain up to like, let's say for you, 195,
Yeah.
and then hold 195 for a little bit and just try to see like how your body will kind of recomp after a few months. Like, you might not have to necessarily do like the bulk cut cycle
Yeah.
throughout the year. You can just kind of hold that and try to like get your what is that called, like your rep set weight total, like that workout volume.
Total volume,
if you can
yeah.
get that up a little bit more, like you might find that you recomp a little bit
I
differently.
think there's definitely ways to work around it. I don't think like it's just, this is right, this is the straight and narrow path. Same, I think that everyone's diet works different. I think it's the same deal with like how much you're eating, and like you said, like as long as you're still pushing volume, like there might be a way that you can recomp. I think being years into lifting, I think recomp is very rare, but it's certainly possible. It's kind of like I've told y'all with the way I've been running more recently. I think my legs haven't gotten smaller, but they've gotten like leaner in a way. So like where my body distributes fat is different. So I don't think that that's like a crazy idea to like throw out. And I don't know. I think experimenting with your body is the biggest thing. So
What are your calories at right now, Griffin? What do you think they are?
I would probably say like 3,800 or so.
What about you, bro?
3,600. It's real close.
Fuck, I'm barely eating.
Dang.
30,
On running
like
days, like
32.
yesterday, I don't even think I hit it, but like I did 10 miles yesterday, which is like roughly like 17 to 2,000 calories extra to like eat. And so that was going to be like a 5,000 plus calorie day. And I think I got like 4,500 in. I waited way too late to like start eating.
You didn't hit the emergency Domino's?
I thought about it, but I had all kinds of like dumb shit. Maddie made me mac and cheese, the HelloFresh. I had like half a bag of Chex Mix, like a full bag that like Zach had. So I was pounding some food, but I just didn't want to Griffin's point, I didn't want to load it with bullshit, because I feel like even if you're hitting your calories, and calories a calorie to an extent, and it's like if you're just if you're doing a lean bulk, but a lot of it's like cheeseburgers and like Halo Top, I don't think that's your body's just gonna kind of convert it to fat. And I think even if you're in like a maintenance or like a deficit, I feel like if you're eating clean foods and pounds of chicken like him, and you're training hard, I feel like your body's more likely to hold on to muscle. Maybe at a newer experienced lifting point, maybe you can actually gain in a deficit. I don't know.
The other thing I would say is, especially for you, like, have you ever heard of the FODMAP, like the digestibility of foods? Like, there are certain vegetables or certain other foods that digest better than others, like a carrot versus broccoli. Like, you don't get bloated or kind of gassy with with a carrot. Same kind of thing as like oatmeal versus cream of rice. So like, I would say if you're trying to like have more of a clean bulk or clean gain, like pacing out that food better throughout the day, as well as like figuring out what digests better for you, and kind of figuring out like what to have in those meals, rather than like chicken and broccoli, like having like red meat and rice or other things like that with maybe like I'm trying to think, like peppers or other things like that digests a little bit better. Then you can kind of just feel like that food is not just sitting in your stomach. Like an hour or two later, you'll be hungry again. So that's one thing that I've been trying to like pay attention to in the past like a couple months or so, is just figuring out like, with each meal, how do I feel? And then like, how can I kind of like maximize that or make it more efficient a little bit more too? So,
Y'all watch the like Seth Brosey's videos on diet? Because I like what he points out. I can't remember the exact thing, but he talks a lot about like
Chicken or rice?
Well, I think there's a term for eating it, but then he talks about absorption, like making sure the nutrients are actually absorbing into like your body, so they're not just BS calories, and also digestion. And then the last part is I want to use the word execution, but basically it's not execution, but it's about shitting it out. So like
expulsion.
So basically, are you absorbing the nutrients? Is it like actually fueling your body? Is it digesting well? Do you feel good? Do you feel bloated? Like what's the issue with it? Are you getting stomach pains? And is it going through your body like fine? Are you like pissing or you're like shitting water? Like what's the deal?
Painting the toilet bowl.
Yeah, painting the toilet. So I think like Griffin's like picking out foods and noticing like what makes you feel good. Like I noticed brown rice was going through me like stupid, so I was like no more pre-workout brown rice. And now it's just white rice, or it was for a while, and now I mostly either have like oats or something in the morning because that goes through me. It doesn't sit on my stomach. It digests fine. Doesn't give me the shits either. So
another thing I would say too is one thing I've found that I like a lot is like if you can kind of maximize, like Brock was saying a second ago, like probiotics, so like having more like yogurts or sauerkraut or like fermented kind of things, the more like gut bacteria you can have to like break things down better. And similar to like how Overcome has the estrogen, like to be able to, if you eat things like pineapple, like that has the bromelain in it to be able to break down protein and stuff like that too. So I just find that
I eat it for other reasons.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Giggity.
That's true. Yeah. So I don't know. I really think that, because I was thinking about this. I think maybe Wesley said that or somebody else. But if you think about it with diet, like, I know, Austin, you always train harder. That was your philosophy you were saying the other day, is just kind of pick something and try to just kill it that day. Yeah. But if you think about it, like really that body composition will change just because of diet. Like you can still train at that same intensity, and depending on what you eat or how much or kind of how it's portioned throughout the day, like that'll determine like how you grow, how you cut, like what your body composition will be. So it is interesting to just think if like the training is the constant, like how can the diet then be manipulated to like maximize your gains and your like composition? So that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately.
I've been dabbling with it, like with the digestion thing. I noticed because I crush a lot of oatmeal, ton. And I was telling Griffin the other day I was crushing like 250 grams, almost like 2 or 3 cups of oatmeal a day.
I was about to say, what's that in cups?
Yeah, about like 2 or 3 cups. And not all at once, but majority in the morning, majority at night. And that was definitely like not helping the bloat. And then obviously I was eating a ton of broccoli because
it bloats you up. Is it just like the raw instant, like unflavored?
Oh no, old fashioned.
Big kernels.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that would play into it, because I do the instant.
Yeah.
And just throw that in a smoothie, and that seems to like do go for me. I mean, obviously we're all different, but
well,
I wonder how that would be different.
I might fuck up the instant. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, most of the time I blend it anyways with my Ninja.
Why my Ninja too?
Might as well just put the coffee in there.
Yeah, coffee
it's
grounds,
also a
espresso
coffee.
smoothie.
It's a multi-purpose blender, but and like I was eating a ton of wheat bread. Some nights I'd have 2 slices, some nights I'd have 4, or in the mornings, whatever. And I switched to sourdough because I've heard and read for the prebiotics you can get from that. That's true. Also helps with, it's a better source of like digestion for
and
breads.
The other thing with sourdough is it's usually just the 3 ingredients. Yeah. So the less kind of like stuff that's added to it, less stuff that you have to kind of break down and stuff too.
And I'm trying to get my fats up a little bit too, because those were low for a while.
My fats are usually pretty low too.
Yeah.
But I do well off high carb. Like I'll have like a 400 calorie or 400 gram carb day, like 90 fats, 200 or so protein. I feel like good.
Yeah.
I feel like my body burns carbs well.
Mine does too. And mine's a little bit low. It was floating around 50 to 60 grams of fat a day, like 400 to 500 gram carb. So I'm trying to like maybe up that fat to maybe like 80, maybe 80-ish. See how I feel mentally.
I just feel like unless, besides the eggs and like cottage cheese, instead of eggs now, I usually have like peanut butter in the morning and like a smoothie. But I feel like I don't know where I get fats like as a direct source unless I were like force them in, like have handful of nuts or throw in butter, avocado,
tablespoon of olive oil.
Like shove it in. I feel like when I do things like that, I end up just choosing bad sources and they don't feel good.
I used to struggle with that because I would have like egg whites and then chicken and then just like feel like, I just can eat peanut butter. But now I find that like I much prefer like ground beef, salmon. Like
Yeah.
I'll cook eggs with like some Kerrygold butter or other things like that, and like having higher fats, but like having protein sources that have higher fats, like it's much more enjoyable. And I feel like this is the way it's meant to be.
And one thing I've chilled out a little on is like how much dairy I take in. So I always have the cottage cheese. For a while, I would like consistently have cottage cheese, yogurt, and some other dairy source, and like whey proteins, right? So I'd end up having all these like different like dairy sources. Now I probably only have it in my cottage, and then with the scoop of whey there, and a scoop of whey in like the smoothie in like the morning. But I feel like it might have helped a little bit with like acne. I know some people flare up more from it. I don't feel like I have big flares from it, but it definitely can't hurt. I know some people like Maddie, like she has any kind of dairy, like besides like a whey protein or something, hurts her stomach. She's all fucked up, inflamed.
Sarah, my wife, she gets acne, and she says it's not from dairy, but I'm pretty sure it is because she eats a fuck ton of cheese, yogurt, milk, and I'm like, yo, you gotta lay off the shit.
Yeah,
but
that's usually what it is.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I mean, I feel like deep down everybody is some sort, like different levels of lactose intolerant or like hypersensitive to lactose.
I think it's like 80-90% of adults are. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Dang.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's some really high percent.
Milk is for babies.
Yeah.
I can drink it, but I probably should. Yeah, I never do.
Beer. It's what the men drink.
Yeah.
That's true.
Plus, it purifies the water, that alcohol. Drink
and what is it? Isn't that like a probiotic kind of thing too? The hops or the yeast?
Hops, the hops and the yeast. It helps digestion.
You want to touch on partying in the gym and wrap this thing up?
Partying in the gym. Obviously, last month was awesome with the Christmas theme that we had going on. It was our first one here at Iron Belt Gym, which was awesome to be able to like put this together with the gym and have the community come out. It's just fucking awesome. Huge turnout, by the way. If y'all did miss it, we got one coming up this Saturday, January 2nd, 12 to 4, here at Iron Belt Gym. Throwing down again. And some more details with this will be a $5 party pass or cover charge that will be that will get you into a raffle to win some free products
at the door.
So it'll be a $5 day pass during that time period, 12 to 4. And like Austin said, you'll get a raffle ticket. If you're a member and you come during those hours, you'll also get a raffle ticket. But if you pay the $5 fee, you get a raffle ticket. And that we're doing 3 different winners for 3 different prizes. So the 3 prizes will be a shirt from Iron Belt Gym, a pre-workout from GYMFLO, and a 2-pound protein tub from Nutrition Corner. So 3 different winners. So great chance to kind of come out. And not only is the $5 get you access to free samples and all that's going on at the event, you also get a chance to win a product. And also half the proceeds are going to the Semper Fi Fund, which is of course supporting veterans and the military overall. So
awesome charity.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. And as far as the event itself, it's, of course, access to the gym. It's going to be a great time for people to take videos, photos, meet people, have a good time. There'll be 2 tables set up, one for, of course, GYMFLO, the usual great stuff, pre-workouts out for scooping and then mixing and everything like that. And then also Nutrition Corner will have a table as well with a bunch of different samples of other products as well. So should be a great time. And
getting a cool video.
Yeah, you're being a cool video that Griffin filmed.
Maybe I'll hold the camera for a few minutes and catch you doing something.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But like we mentioned, if you haven't seen the recap video, it's on either Iron Belt Gym's Instagram or GYMFLO's. And it was just such a cool event. I think we had like 80 to 100 people roll through just in that time period. And
Griffin counted
awesome.
200.
Yeah, Griffin claims. Griffin claims 200. So I like that number more.
This could be 1,000. This
month.
That's
shit.
what I'm talking about. He thinks big.
Yeah,
that's the guy. But
pump those numbers
I don't really mean to harp and like drag on about it, but it is awesome to see like everybody come out, have a good time, live some life. Yeah. When all this other bullshit's going on.
It's cool seeing that parking lot at the Cubbies pool.
That's it too.
That's true,
I just the energy, like the vibes, like fucking everybody's lifting heavy ass weight, way more than I would, and it's just it gets me fired up.
Get used quick.
Yeah, gets me fired up.
So I will say, like, if you're trying to have like, if you're trying to secure a squat rack or a certain lift, don't be too upset if like 45s are taken or whatever. So if you want to like actually get like the most optimal lift, you might want to get there early.
Yeah.
Like at 12. Because 1 o'clock, it was kind of crazy last time.
It was. Which is awesome to see, though. For real. Regardless if you come out, you're trying to hit a PR.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, you're just going to have a good time. So come on out. Love to see you.
Yeah, but like last thing, though, Saturday, January 2nd, this Saturday, if you're listening to this pretty recently, 12 to 4 p.m., Iron Built Gym.
Be there or be square.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else do I have on the board?
Walk the line soon.
Yeah. So holidays put a damper on shit like that. Things that are out of our hands with other people. Hopefully I'll get an invoice maybe today. But let's expect it. What's today? Monday. So maybe at the earliest by the end of this week.
Nice.
Friday, maybe. But I haven't heard anything yet. And usually there's a 1 to 2 day turnaround after I get the invoice before it ships. So it is what it is. Haven't gotten the label for the third flavor of All or Nothing printed yet. Because I'm still waiting on them too, since the holidays kicked in. Yeah. Just a lot of, whatever.
But something for people to look forward to.
Yeah, something. I'm definitely fired up and ready. But big things coming. Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff here at the office. I don't know who cares about it, but I do. We shot a bunch of new content, trying to go with a new look for posting with product.
Yeah, new year, new branding.
Big goals. Hopefully people enjoy and appreciate some of the art Griffin, Brock, and myself put together with some of these products and shots that are coming out here soon. So that'll be exciting stuff to see. Also, while I'm thinking about it, if you know anybody or any local businesses that you support here around Richmond, and you know that they might need some help and or have a cool story and would like to share their story here on the show, we'd love to have them out. Make sure you either drop them down in the comments below or mention
DM.
Yeah, mention them and shoot us a DM as well, letting us know, and I'll reach out to them myself. Would love to have and support local business here in Richmond, spreading word and getting people some help out there as best as we can.
Definitely.
Yeah. But that might be it, boys.
Yeah, it was
what do you
one.
think?
A lot of nutrition talk.
Yeah.
A lot of program talk. I like this one.
Excited for the week. Fucking A. Let's keep it going. And I guess I'm all.
Last one of 2020?
Yeah. Have a good week, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good 2021.
I know.
We'll still be doing this shit.
Get after it, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Big things coming.
We're out.